Hello, everybody, and welcome back to CFB25. We are here in week 2 of our season. We don't play week 0, so we're here in week 2 with our second matchup of the year against the Texas A&M Aggies. Man, it is the Aggie Bowl, as I'm calling it. I'm sure these teams have met quite a few times over their history, their extensive histories, but we are this is the first iteration of our Aggie Bowl that we get to coach for. So we have the Texas A&M Aggies and the Utah State Aggies facing off here in College Station here in Texas. And this is going to be a tough one, okay? This is going to be a real tough one. Texas A&M is ranked. They have playoff aspirations. I don't know how far or close they came last year. I don't even remember if they were in the playoff. I didn't get a chance to look at the final standings for everything in our off-season video, which I got to, I guess, see when that cuts off, when the game no longer lets you do it. But we were unable to. So this is going to be a tough game. We had a pretty dominant showing in our first game, and so this one is really going to test just how much work, all of our work in the offseason, it really paid off or hasn't paid off, as Texas A&M gets a nice little handful chunk of yardage to start things off here, as they have already worked the ball into our territory, and now a nice out route towards the sideline is complete to get A&M another large chunk of yards. They're going to stick with the ground game as the running back is making some crafty moves around the middle of the field before he's brought down just inches from the sticks. So on second and inches, they're going to fake the handoff and again go to the out route, this time on the left side on the sidelines, and J.D. Drew just couldn't really cover that one all that well. So on first and goal, they're going to go with the ground game again, trying to shake off some tackles, but he gets brought down inside the 5-yard line. So second and goal from the 4. It's going to be another handoff, and this time he's gobbled up again from behind by Marlon Dean. And so it's going to be third and goal. We have an opportunity here to stop the Aggies if we can. We send a lot of pressure up front. Can't quite get home, but they're going to dump it off short, and they're not going to get into the end zone. So they're going to bring out the kicking unit to nail this chip shot through. And now 3-0 is going to be your score. So, and look at this stadium, Paul. So, man, it is a crazy game as we are already facing a 3rd and 1. We give it to Robert Briggs Jr., and the line gets pancakes, just gets absolutely ransacked, and we can't even pick up the 1 yard for a first down, so we already have to give the ball back to Texas A&M, and now they're going to make us pay for it, as this running back's got plenty of speed. If you pay close enough attention to college football, you probably know exactly who that man is, who's going to be giving us fits all day today. So we did get A&M to a 3rd down, and now Marlon Dean is a quarterback-seeking missile, and he gets home to the quarterback and brings him down. So we're going to force Texas A&M to have to punt this one away to us. So I didn't think we'd get a ton of defensive stops against Texas A&M in this game. I thought it might be a back and forth, like we might play pretty good offense and shock, the college football world with how well we play offense, and then Texas A&M would score a lot against our defense, but our defense is now showing up, and our offense is struggling here in the first quarter to get really anything going, as only 28 yards is all we have just total in this game here. Texas A&M is really kind of controlling the game in the first quarter here, but we've been playing smart, just haven't really been able to move the ball. And as you can see, on a 3rd and 11, and pressure gets home as we try to set up the screen here, but Texas A&M has way too much speed up front for us to establish something like that. So we have another 3rd down faced against Texas A&M, and all day to throw, and it is uncorked down to the goal line. That one is picked off by J.D. Drew. So Ike Larson and J.D. Drew were both in the vicinity of that receiver, but I don't even know why or what the plan was there. And Guerrero also is now hurt on that play. He would be fine. He would come back, but he is also injured on that play. But it is an interception for the Utah State Aggies, so we have this ball moving the other way. And on 2nd and 8, we're going to float this one out to the corner, and somehow Tevin Wills has his feet in bounds as he toe drags, to keep himself in bounds. So there you see Guerrero. He is fine. He will be back, but he is a little bit hurt in this game. So we're going to try an audible out of the play that we had already picked. Trying to look at the defense here. I noticed they didn't have any safeties back, so try to send some guys towards the sidelines, which I did. Found Otto Tia. He hauls this one in and is brought down at about the 10-yard line. So he does not want the hand to get up. He doesn't want any help. So we are facing a 3rd and 5, though, as our goal line defense here is not working all that well. But then we float this one out to the very back corner of the end zone, and we find Otto Tia again, who somehow hauls this one in. And we've had a couple just amazing receptions from our receiving core that I can't believe they made happen. Just some athletic grabs to now help us get into the end zone for our first score of this game. And if you would have thought it was a receiving touchdown and not a rushing touchdown, then I'd call you a liar. I would call you a liar. You'd probably make a lot of money betting-wise on those odds, but I don't know if I'd believe you. So Texas A&M now heading the other way, trying to run the 2-minute drill here. They find a wide-open receiver who picks up a ton of yards. So now from their own 45-yard line, they're going to try and run everybody back to the line of scrimmage and keep this one moving as quickly as they can. Going to get the read from the sideline. Now pressure is getting on to the quarterback, and he throws another interception, this time to Ike Larson, who was in the vicinity of the first one, and no one's going to get even close to Ike Larson as he gets into the end zone. It's a 46-yard pick six to the house. And this is massive, man, with our struggles on offense. We really needed a defensive play like this, man. A big old stop from our defense. And you could probably expect to get it, man, with how much better our defense is from our offense. But still, against Texas A&M, this is a very uncharacteristic for their offense. Now their quarterback has 2 interceptions already just in the first half. Yeah, I mean, that's a recipe for losing a football game if I ever saw one, you know. But it is still a low-scoring event here now as we've extended the score to just 14 to 3. So Texas A&M here still with plenty of time to operate before the half is over, and facing a 2nd and 10 from their own 39. Pressure is once again about to get on, but he does get rid of the football in time and finds a man across the middle. They're going to call a timeout now, and as they flip now to our 41-yard line, on the very next play here, they're going to hit another man across the middle, and now it's going to be 2nd and 2. They're going to continue running that hurry up, man. They're going to conserve those timeouts. I guess try to get a little bit closer, maybe get into touchdown territory if possible. So taking the snap here and floats this one up, and there's a whole mess of Utah State players in the vicinity. That ball gets batted around, and it is picked off by Salmon Harris, I believe, is the one who picked it off, I believe. But just a wacky exchange of events, I guess. So Texas A&M was finally moving pretty well, doing that hurry up like they were trying to do, and it just did not work out. So the 3rd pick of the half now happens for Texas A&M, but we figured we'd give them one of our own as Forrest Brock tries to go for a deep ball across the middle of the field. There was a safety sitting there waiting on it. I guess I thought maybe we could beat the safety on that route, but he was perfectly in position, perfectly read what our quarterback was looking to do, and yeah, it doesn't work out. So we couldn't get away with 3 picks from Texas A&M without giving up one of our own. So and yeah, there you see the safety here, just kind of perfectly in position here. I guess, I don't know, I didn't think that safety was going to jump it as much as he was. I keep betting on the safety, and I always lose. So Texas A&M is now moving once again in our territory on a 1st and 10. They're going to float it out to the side, and it is hauled in. They're going to call another timeout, as they're now getting closer there at the 25-yard line. They could probably easily get 3 points now at least. They're going to look for a little bit more, as it is a beautiful toe drag catch along the sideline to get him inside the 10-yard line. And on 1st and goal, they're going to go again through the air, and amazing athletic play by this receiver from A&M to just kind of stop dead in his tracks and just cut upfield here. We had a player in the vicinity to make a play on him, maybe get him out of bounds, and he just about did it here, but the forward momentum, he would carry it through the end zone. So that is going to be a touchdown for Texas A&M, and you got to figure they were going to break through at some point. You know what I mean? Like it's been a pretty even up game, I guess, for the most part. I mean, not even. I mean, Texas A&M has been kind of controlling the game. It's just we got a big bailout on defense, and that's really all there is. And the big thing to point out as well is the rushing yards, the rushing attack. The consistent theme from last season was any game that we kind of lost. Was really kind of dependent on whether or not we could or could not run the football. So in the Utah game, we were still able to score a good bit of points, but in the Hawaii game and now in this Texas A&M game, we are struggling a lot with the ground game, and in the Western Kentucky game, we struggled a lot to run the football consistently. So this, I'm not saying anything, but unless we can figure out how to break through with Robert Briggs Jr., we might be in some trouble here, as A&M already now in the second half is cooking something up here, and then what they're cooking is another interception to J.D. Drew. It's his 2nd of the game, and it's our 4th as a defense, but J.D. Drew's 2nd personal INT here. But what I tried to do was to stop him from moving and just like take the knee or take the tackle in the end zone, but his forward momentum brought him out. So now we're at like the 2-yard line, and I didn't even mean to do that. So a bit of a blunder here as their quarterback throws his 4th pick. And again, that was just a bad one, man. So it is 1st and 10. I see that Texas A&M is loading the box here. They're going to try and get the safety. So I'm going to try an audible out of it. But I guess I hit the wrong button. I guess I didn't hit A. I just clicked to close it. So I run backwards thinking that I was going to throw it. And but either way, A&M was completely inside, by the time we snap that ball. So they're going to get a free 2 points courtesy of my ineptitude. So 14-12 is now your score. And on a 3rd and 14, they're going to go with the screen pass, and they're not going to get anywhere close to the line to gain. So on 4th and 10, they're going to have to punt it to us. We can't do anything with it. So A&M again with another opportunity on a 3rd and 1. And now the running back's going to get the edge, and he's got a lot of green grass in front of him, but Ike Larson is able to seal off the touchdown and make the tackle here. But that is going to end the 3rd quarter as Texas A&M is now getting closer to scoring yet again, and our offense is still just struggling to get much of anything rolling here in the 2nd half. We have not been able to gain a single rushing yard. We have just 10 yards of total offense, or 11 yards of total offense in the 3rd quarter, just to show you how bad things have been, man. To show you how terrible things have been. So on 2nd and 12 now for Texas A&M, they're going to keep with the ground game, breaking some ankles here, but he does get brought down by J.D. Drew. And Logan Peely also was there on the tackle, but he hurts himself on the tackle, so he's going to be injured as well. So we have a 3rd and 7 opportunity to stop Texas A&M. It'd be huge to stop them, maybe get down a point, but they're going to find an open receiver, just go for the check down, and he's going to at least get the line to gain. So now it's 1st and goal with just 3 yards left to get into the end zone, and on it's a pitch play here, and the perfect blocks are set up, and Texas A&M has themselves another touchdown. So they are now going to take a 5-point lead, pending the extra point here. They could go for 2 maybe if they were feeling frisky, but maybe, I don't know. It wouldn't really help either way. So because we can't get them with the field goal, we'd have to score the touchdown. I mean, they lose regardless, so there really wouldn't be a point for them. But it's a good setup here for A&M. They've been running some really solid drives. I can't be super mad about it, outside of all the interceptions. But on a 3rd and 20 here, you can see the pressure gets home to us, and I included this play just so you guys could see what we're dealing with on offense, why things have been so rough. The pressure is just getting home immediately. So here at the end of the game with a minute left to go, they're going to get handed off again, and there is the game-sealing 1st down. We would not be able to stop the clock past that, and Texas A&M is going to take another victory, a very, very close, tough victory, as Wakeman had 4 interceptions in this game. And yeah, dude, Ruben Owens ran all over us. Like I said, if you watch college football closely, you know exactly who that man is, and probably expected him to run all over us, and he absolutely did. So probably didn't expect Wakeman to have 4 interceptions, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Because I'm sure A&M is probably going through a lot of roster turnover as well from last year into this year. So some new faces perhaps around the team here that kind of contributed to this weird, sloppy, gross game. But A&M, the 13th ranked team in the nation, did manage to hold it down. And just look at that offense comparison, man. 155 compared to 414. Just terrible. Just horrendous. We only had 14 rushing yards. I think that does include the sack, though, so probably should remove that here, because Robert Briggs Jr. definitely ran for a little bit more than that. 3rd down, we were terrible on 3rd down, just kind of terrible all around. And in the turnover game, we won the turnover game easily, handedly, but couldn't really turn much of anything off of it. Well, the 2 scores we did have were from the turnovers. So our first touchdown was off of an interception, and then we had the pick 6. So anything we did was off of those. So I guess if we scored off all 4 of them, we would have easily won the game, but I don't know. So Forrest Brock has himself a mixed bag of a game here. Didn't really just produce nearly as much as we needed. Threw a pick. Robert Briggs Jr. with only 24 yards, man. That has got to be... that is brutal, man. Tevin Willis, our leading receiver with 85 yards. Does not get into the end zone. Otto Tia does, though. So... yeah, not really much to speak about just offensively, man. It is a tough way to shake, man. It's a tough L to take, tough one to swallow, tough pill to swallow as we get kind of embarrassed in a lot of ways. But moving on ahead now, here is a look at our recruiting updates here. We are top in a lot of the guys that we are targeting boards. A lot of 3 stars, a couple 4 stars here that we are also first on the list. If we can get a couple 4 stars, that would be amazing, man. We'd start to see this team really take off. So Ike Larson gets defensive player honors for the conference for that pick 6 here. He also had 4 tackles in that game. So they always do it off the pick 6s instead of just overall production, which is funny. But either way, that's going to be it for this game, this video. Next week, we're going to get into more at conference play here against James Madison. They've already lost their first game, and now we are 1-1. So hopefully I see you guys at JMU when we take on the Dukes.